Okay, so today we'll talk about Azazel and the demon gatekeeper, the king of alchemy and the king of knowledge, essentially. So I'm really glad that we have to cover this topic. And we will kind of change the way we do those streams. So essentially, those streams will be just about the entity. There will be no live channeling involved, but you can ask whatever question about the entity you wish, or whatever general question. Hello, Anima Libera. Nice to meet you. If you want to ask any questions, just type it in the chat.
We
Just
we will do some channelings, but they're not going to be personalized channelings anymore.
Yeah, because people are kind of sniping the stream, and it's too draining for me to do those personalized channelings for people. It really exhausts me, and there is no adequate compensation. Hi, David Warwick Anderson. Nice to see you here. And there is not enough compensation for it. But we kind of have a new idea for you guys. So
Yeah.
we want to do group rituals
Yeah.
on those streams. We want to essentially make it so whoever donates a super chat of certain amount becomes a participant in group ritual. Germanic Spaniard, thank you for joining us here. So you are free to ask any questions you wish, guys, but the answers won't be personalized. And if you donate super chat, we will do a group ritual with all of the people and for all of the people who donated super chat. And I think
Dimitri, I don't think we should restrict it to super chat just because we still have to wait for some of the stuff to go through with that. Because I'm the one doing the monetary stuff. It's kind of a process, so I would open it up for like other ways of donation too, not just super chat.
yeah, so whoever makes a donation will be kind of benefactor of a group ritual.
Yeah.
So tonight we are doing a group ritual with Azazel, and so at the end of the night we will kind of call Azazel to empower everybody who donated to this live stream. And this is kind of really good thing because it allows you guys to essentially have opportunity to get something you've never got before, and this is kind of unique to the stream. And also smash the like button and subscribe, guys. So yeah, and ask questions in the chat. Okay, live chats.
We're gonna
Okay.
be getting more elaborate with the rituals. I didn't even know we were gonna do an Azazel ritual, but I didn't know we were gonna make it public this time. But we plan on doing more elaborate rituals with you guys if you're interested in doing public
Okay.
rituals.
Yeah, somebody likes the painting in your room, Danny. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
painting is really cool.
Yeah, it's a
Guys,
opinion.
and guys, I see you are watching. Smash the like button and subscribe, and share a little bit of this live stream. Okay, if we have uh, 20 likes on this stream, we will channel one generalized message from Azazel to the audience, to everybody who watches. So, yeah, there is 12 of you watching. Smash the like button. Anyway, so because there is a significant audience, 12 people are already, it's kind of a lot of people. I
Yeah, we're
would like
sorry that
to.
we had a
Yeah,
limit.
yeah. So, honey, can you talk about your experience with Azazel? A little
Yeah,
bit.
it's also started off everything. I went through this like really insane destructive phase where everything in my life was torn down, and the usual shit of people going through all these insane trials, and my life was pretty much like a fucking Hollywood horror movie. And then I remember one day I was climbing up this hill for the thousandth time, and I was like, I can't believe that I'm still in so much pain after all that. It's just really incredible. And and then that's when Azazel came, and he told me, he said, "Be a soldier of your own command." And um, so yeah, I have a lot of I would say debt to him, and I have a lot of work yet to do with him. It's been I have a really really busy lifestyle. It's hard, you guys. It's hard when you work full time and you also work on a YouTube channel. It's hard to get time to do all that stuff, man. It's rough, like. But I'm pretty
Hello.
what?
Yeah, so Germanic Spaniard donated $10. Okay. So we will include you, Germanic Spaniard, in the group ritual. Thank you for donating $10. And the ritual will be at the end of the stream, so you all guys have enough time to donate if you want to participate in the group ritual. And the group ritual will essentially be the empowerment by Azazel. Can you just write the name Germanic Spaniard so we have all of the names, technically? Because we have to write all of them down if we are including them. So yeah, Germanic Spaniard donated. Thank you, bro. So the thing with Azazel, how I started working with Azazel. So I started working with Azazel by kind of wanting to work with Paimon, but not really. It was pretty messy to say the least. I like didn't knew what I was doing, and my first ritual with Azazel was technically me trying to make a pact with Azazel, which wasn't accepted. Uh, I tried to make him my patron or whatever, and it wasn't accepted. So I remember I called Azazel at my home using the magical chant It's real Azazel, which is the magical chant EA Quieting back in the day used on his channel. It was kind of his main thing. And I called Azazel and I chanted It's real Azazel. His energy was there. And then I went into the wilderness and I called Azazel again and I told him that I want to make a pact. And what happened is I pretty much got a really strong sensation, which dictated that the pact is not accepted at all. And this was pretty much my first magical failure. But that's how my work with Azazel started. And Azazel is really selective. He will not accept everyone. And he is also really brutal in his testing, much more brutal than some other spirits I knew. But can you take and talk, Danny, about your experience with Azazel, what he asked of you, how it kind of went?
Yeah, I've talked about it a little bit before. And he that was when he pulled that poltergeisty stuff, and he teleported my cigarettes in front of me because he wanted me to quit smoking. Um, he I'm sorry, you guys. I'm in really rough shape today. I'm sick. I'm like having a hard time. Um, he's interesting. Like he kind of it's weird. Like, have you ever noticed the Watchers get pissed off if you work with angels sometimes?
Yeah, I kind of did notice. I
Yeah,
am just, yeah, I am just like collecting my notes so I write stuff down to
yeah.
write down all the people who pay super chat so we don't exclude anyone.
I don't know. Some people claim that that's sort of a myth, and maybe on some level it is sort of a myth. But I mean, I've just had the Watchers straight up say like we don't get along with the likes of, you know, Michael and shit like that. It didn't really matter why I was working with them. That sort of surprised me. Um, I don't know. I remember one time I was talking to Azazel and I was sort of like, dude, like why has my life been so hard? And he just said, I pay my tolls too. I thought that was really interesting and candid thing for him to say. You know, it made me wonder what kind of what kind of suffering he's endured in his lifespan as a watcher.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you that Azazel doesn't get along with celestial spirits. That's actually something commonly known.
Hmm.
What should I do to connect with him for the first time? Okay, so I can give generalized advice on that. My first advice to everyone who is wanting to work with Azazel is learn how to raise the sacred space and open astral senses if you want to do that. So, how to raise the sacred space for Azazel? My advice is pretty much there are two methods. The method I would recommend here is to use the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram to raise the sacred space, and then work on all seven chakras of yours until you master them. And then, after chakras are opened, then you can call Azazel using the chant Ha Azazel Ha Grigor, or if you don't want to use that chant for his angelic aspect, use Ha'azazel Ha'Seirim to call his demonic aspect, or if you don't want to use that chant to call his demonic aspect, my advice would be simply vibrate the name of Azazel over and over again until energy manifests. So yeah, the stream is just starting. You are not late. The stream started later because I was kind of late, guys. I apologize. And
He
also,
was an MMA fight.
yeah, I was watching MMA fights, like 10 different fights. It was super cool. Yeah, MMA event. And also, guys, if you want to participate in group ritual with Zazel at the end of the stream, just donate $10 via Super Chat or PayPal, and you can participate in the ritual. Will include you. So, yeah. Also, and also ask your questions about the Zazel here in the chat, and I will answer them all. We would appreciate your questions, guys,
Yeah.
because we like when this stream is well received. So, honey, how you started? Like, just describe your experience with the Zazel, Danny.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, since we're not just doing personalized channelings, I think we should open up the topic a little bit more so that we don't just have to talk about Azazel, because like, we're just like free uh stream of consciousness here right now. So um you know Azazel's very mysterious. He's very secretive. um he definitely has an agenda, but I couldn't tell you what that is. Could you?
Yeah. Okay. So, regarding Zazel's agenda, this is kind of my conclusion. Azazel wants to reshape humanity in his own image. So he wants to create a new man, and he is pretty clear about it, that it is his agenda. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am sure that Azazel appreciates MMA as well as being a former angel of warfare and all. Yeah, he definitely appreciates all of those things. I agree with you.
He's
Um,
um he's, I guess, in some ways he's similar to Belial in that he's very like he's like a motivation he's like a really tough motivational like warrior type, a mentor.
yeah, I agree. But regarding work with Azazel, one thing is pretty clear. Like, you need to be physically in shape. Uh, Thus, Azazel falls under Samael being Martian in nature. Azazel kinda doesn't have any form of overlord or overseer. He is pretty much a spirit who has no master. But
Mhm.
yeah, Azazel is heavily associated with Mars and Saturn. Those are two planetary influences he mostly corresponds with.
Yeah, and then Azazel and Paimon are very closely linked. Sometimes it's even hard for me to differentiate their energies, because they can overlap in a way that's they're very similar sometimes. Um, Paimon is like when Paimon's around, it always kind of comes around with music. I feel really like strong musical rhythms with Paimon, but not necessarily so much with Azazel. But they're both they have this fiery like fireball thing going on.
Yeah. So pretty much, let's answer. There are some questions.
Well,
What
wait,
is
hold
meant
on,
by
just wait, just like respond, like don't leave me hanging.
okay? So like I don't know. Technically, yeah, Azazel and Paimon are really deeply connected. I agree with you there, and I'm sorry if you are kind of offended or something. I just wanna go to questions here. Uh, what is meant by so he is not beholden to Lucifer or Satan? He has his own infernal kingdom. Yeah, he is kind of working independently. That's my experience. What is meant by a new man? Honestly, I don't know what it means, but it's probably some new humanity we never saw before. And what do you think, Danny, about what Paimon and Azazel want to do?
Um, I feel like Paimon is sort of like the embodiment of inspiration, and Azazel is like kind of like the one in command, and I feel like they kind of work together that way.
Cool. So, yeah, there is a lot of you guys here. Please ask more questions in the chat so we can answer them all. Yeah. So, essentially, I want to talk about Azazel and the Nephilim a little bit. So, my experience with the Nephilim is a little bit unique. To me, Nephilim are like really dark, powerful, and dense necromantic dead. They are the type of spirit which I didn't see anywhere. Like they are a mixture between shadow people, graveyard entities, dead people, and demons. And
Mm,
then you mix all of that into one specific signature, and that's the Nephilim. Nephilim
yeah,
are really intense.
yeah.
They are really dark and powerful. Actually, guys, if you want to call Nephilim, uh, you call Azazel, and there is a specific angel, a specific watcher who presides over the Nephilim. Is Paimon a jinn or a fallen angel like Azazel? Paimon definitely falls into a jinnic category, in my opinion. Okay, no
Um,
tap with the question.
1 second.
So I just wanted to talk about something. There is a specific watcher who presides over the Nephilim, and I channeled his name to be Raphael or Raphael, and he's like a really dark, shadowy angel. And I worked with him for a time. I performed a few rituals. There was a time in my practice where I worked almost exclusively with the Watchers. It's a year 2018 when this channel was founded. That's actually that year. And this is a live stream to kind of pay homage to the spirit who was one of my main guides when this channel was founded. By the way, there is an old video on the channel. A bunch of you definitely didn't watch. And in that old video, I talked about chant to call Shemyaza. And chant to call Shemyaza is Shemyaza Taleni Kyati. And let's talk a little bit about us. Okay, you want to say something, Danny?
No, no, just never mind. Just say what you were saying.
Like I forgot what I wanted to say. Fuck it. Yeah, what you wanted to say, Danny?
So with the Nephilim, I believe I had an experience with those before. I don't know. I don't have any other explanation for what it was, but it was it was when Abaddon was coming through, and the entity that came. Do you think that there's an association with Abaddon and the Nephilim? First of all,
There could be, and there probably is, but it's not recorded.
okay,
Abaddon in general is associated with dead people,
yeah,
and Abaddon is kind of infernal, dark, necromantic angel, and Nephilim are
yeah,
technically dead people.
yeah.
So there could be a connection there. It simply isn't recorded.
So when Abaddon came through, I actually he brought me to this pool, like this abysmal pool, um, and you could hear screams coming out of the water, like from the depths. And I remember putting my hands in it, and I could hear the screams, but I could also feel the screams. This horrible, like, sense of doom. And then there was also a being present, very solid. It was humanoid. It had shiny black skin, big shiny black eyes, and it had no hair. And it was also um, sort of coming. It sort of brought your shadow aspect. I don't know if we've talked about this, but how people have like sort of higher selves, but also their shadow selves. I don't know if we've talked about that much in the show, but like for instance, Dimitri definitely has both aspects that come as they please, sort of. So this Nephilim came with this sort of shadow aspect of Dimitri and was explaining to me that I needed a twin um, that was born so many degrees from Jesus Christ. In that sinister, mocking, sarcastic way that demons often like in cryptic way that they communicate. But it was a reference to some of his um I guess relatives and also astrological placements in a sick way. But yeah, that was my encounter with what I believe to be the Nephilim, and it seems that there are some figures in the Bible that may also be connected to them, uh, but it's not like written down anywhere.
Okay, so there are some questions from the guest. Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about your guest? So, Danny, can you tell people a little bit more about yourself?
No, just respond. Like, do back and forth with me. I'm talking, but don't make me do all the talking. Like, respond. Like, fill it,
But
fill it.
like,
Like, I have
somebody is asking a question, and question is about you, dude. Like, just look at the chat. Can you tell us a little bit more about your guest? Yeah, talk a little bit about yourself, Danny.
okay, hold on. I haven't looked at the chat. Let me catch up here. It looks like the question's for you, Dimitri.
I think it's about what here is it saying. Oh my fucking god. So this in the background, people. Okay, I'm gonna be brutally honest. Okay, this in the background is my goddamn romantic interest here. But she is too goddamn shy to show
No, I'm not.
herself on a
They
camera
asked you. They asked
because
you.
because she doesn't like a camera. So my current romantic interest is skilled with voodoo magic, is skilled with demons, and she is also skilled with all kinds of magic. So she's sweet, And that, yeah, that's pretty much everything about the guest. But regarding,
Wait a
I think,
second, I'm doing all the art for the channel, right?
yeah, and you are doing all of the artwork for the channel. Yeah. So regarding next question, I feel so much sadness when I work with Azazel. What about you? I honestly think that you feeling those negative emotions when you call those dark entities is a consequence of you don't having atonement with them, because those dark energies, when we first confront them and when we first work with them, they are kind of difficult for us. So the first reaction of our auras is to feel negative emotions. But indeed, what is really happening is your system cannot adapt to the energy, and it results as a negative emotion. If you work with them for long enough, those negative sensations will stop and they will turn into positive ones. There is a connection between Prometheus and Azazel, but that connection is more of an archetypal connection. I don't believe they are the same entity. Uh, okay.
So wait, did you get this? Did we already answer this? Do the Watchers have beef with God?
Um, yeah, I need to kind of answer that stuff.
Okay.
Honestly, nothing can have beef with God. Guys, that question is goddamn elaborate, and that question reserves a separate stream, and it will take me like an hour to answer. So, because there are other people in the chat, let's just say the answer is no. Okay.
Oh, come on, come on, give him something.
But like there are other questions in the chat, so
Give
I
him.
need to answer those. Okay. Uh, how did you become a channel, energetic channel? So technically, this is something you develop over time. In order to hear spirits, I work with them on a daily basis for 3.5 years. And I need to tell you guys that if you want to work with spirits, hard work is required. Okay? You have to work a lot, you have to dedicate hundreds and hundreds of hours, thousands and thousands of hours to master shit like invocation, channeling, receiving chants, etc. etc. It's really difficult. So it will work, it will be powerful, but in order to master it, you need to work a lot. Just choose a spirit you can call, choose a spirit you can contact, and evoke it and invoke it with an intention of channeling it. And over time, you will develop that skill set necessary for you to channel spirits. By the way, Danny, how you developed your ability to channel?
Um, it sort of happened naturally. It started with prophetic dreams when I was younger, like a teenager, and then when about mid 20s is when I started to actually hear, audible messages. But what really revved everything up was when I went through Kundalini awakening, and that Kundalini awakening was hastened by going to a shaman and having soul retrieval done. And basically, after I had that session, I became really ill. All the energy in my torso started to build up a lot of pressure at the base of my neck until it burst. And then while it was still sitting there building up in pressure, I was like literally throwing up. But yeah, so that shamanic experience was kind of like the catalyst that really blew the doors open for me. But it is something that needs to be more. I have to say it's something I rather neglect. I should be more disciplined, but it's hard, guys. It's hard when you're working the grind out there. It's hard to stick to your spiritual stuff. It's a really tough juggle and balance.
Okay. And is Nephilim a shadow side of? Okay, so this is a question already answered in the chat, so we'll keep it over. Okay, I want to talk about my development of channeling skills. So yeah, this is true. My channeling skills truly opened when I was sick at my deathbed, on my lowest point in life. But before that experience, I worked with spirits with an intention of channeling them for 3 years before that breakthrough. So, what is really important for you guys to understand is there is no such a thing as free lunch in spirituality. You have to earn everything, every single skill, every single experience, all has to be earned through
Mm.
hard work. And
But
so you need,
even if it happens quickly, it's going to be painful. So it'll be hard work regardless if it takes 5 years or if it takes one day. It's you're going to feel the pain.
yeah, yeah, it is, yeah, pain will be there for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you guys in the chat want to ask more questions, because I see some new viewers, just ask them. Don't be ashamed, you know.
Yeah, and I want to ask you guys, what is some of you guys' crazy experiences with spirits? What spirits are drawn to you? Um, like I'd love to hear from the viewers, what led you guys here.
Yeah, yeah. So, and also for the guys who are new in the chat, guys who are new in the stream, if you donate super chat, we will perform at the end of the stream a group ritual for you with Azazel.
Hmm. So Nadia Gershov says, "Do you hear anything now from Azazel?" So yeah, let's just right now, just for the general audience, do you sense anything here present, and does it want to share? Do they want to share anything just right at the moment?
Yeah, so right at the moment, I honestly don't do live channelings anymore, but because you kind of asked me to go tap into it a little bit,
For the group, yeah, not individual,
yeah,
but
for the
for
group, not individual, I
yeah.
will.
Okay.
So technically, all of us would benefit if we kind of created like little pyramidal structures in our homes, like little pyramids where we can meditate and stuff. That's what I am getting. It can be like a little copper pyramid just to enhance the meditation. Anything like pyramid shaped would greatly benefit us. That's what I am getting. That pyramid shape is really important for storing and directing energy. Um,
Oh, hold on a sec. You just made me remember something. That was Azazel wanted me to do that. He wanted me to set up a pyramid to work with him. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it's interesting how people get the same information without contacting each other. It happens to me
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
Stu Henry says, greetings to all. Greetings to you, Henry. Uh,
yeah.
Inner Light 7 1 says, I am talking a long break. I lost touch and was diagnosed with psychosis, but that's when my magic was the strongest. So I have kind of controversial opinion on this. I think I get. Okay, let's first comment on Inner Light 7 1, and
Yeah.
then I will comment on
I
everyone
want
else.
to comment too, but yeah, you go first.
Okay, I think you should comment first, Danny. And
So, yeah, so the suspension of disbelief, is obviously a really potent tool for magic, right? I mean, I can think of times when I've done things that merely just required that suspension of disbelief. Like I remember I some guy ghosted me, and I concentrated really hard. I had my phone in my hand, and I practically gave myself a nosebleed to make him accidentally call me right then. I hadn't talked to him for like a year, and the phone rang in my hand, and I answered it, and he was like, "This isn't the operator, is it?" But the thing is with that suspension of disbelief is that that can lead into delusion. Um, so um, yeah, I can believe that your magic was probably really strong during the time you were going through that mental illness. But you obviously are going to be able to you're going to have to be able to really get your mind, your emotions and your thoughts under control, because there's a lot of people that go through some dangerous phases with this. Even the best and the baddest, it's risky.
Okay. The hermit said, I think I get multitude of spirits, but I always attract bomb friends, and if friends equal a spirit and an egregore together, then there must be a spirit that equals bombs. I honestly don't understand what the writer of the comment was trying to say, but I am glad you are watching us and you're here with us, the hermit. Not Ab says, some people just want to see to walk through the spiritual work like it's no trouble at all for whatever reason. For others, it's more like pulling teeth. It's hard for everyone, okay? Inner Light says, I try to ask for help, but I'm not part of the group. Thank you very much, sister. So, yeah, you can donate a super chat and we will include you in group ritual. Can Azazel elaborate on big global changes that are supposedly coming soon? Thanks. Stu Henry asks.
Hmm.
So I will comment on this. So I don't channel spirits right now, but I already worked with spirits regarding this question. So regarding the global changes, what is pretty clear is that global technocratic oligarchic elite wants to make themselves into gods by destroying all religions and all traditions and replacing the old ideals with themselves. And that is what is happening pretty much in the modern world. I attract
Um,
strange spirits, Germanic Spaniard asks. And Griffith says, yes, that would be cool. Yeah, ask more questions in the chat. Danny, you
on
wanted
a
to say
so
something.
to Henry's question on a smaller scale. Um, so what I was told, like when it was sort of just a quote skirmish between Russia and Ukraine in the first weeks of that. I was told battle was inevitable and that microwave weapons would be a feature of this battle at some point, which I don't think they've been a hallmark of any previous wars. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes to pass.
Yeah, so Adrian Sutek says seed holocron. I honestly don't know what it means, but thank you for watching. The Hermit says people are conduit of spirit type. This is possible to verify. That is why I mentioned it. Yeah, I agree with you, the Hermit, 100%. Stu Henry says, thank you both. From the light of the darkness, hey JD444,
Ah,
thank you for coming on the stream. Inner
hi.
Light donate, yeah, Inner Light donated $4. Yeah, let's just write him down here so we don't exclude everyone who donated on the super chat. Okay.
That's an odd question. What is a safe way to contact his underlying spirits for petitions outside of ritual, evocation, and channeling? That doesn't sound like a very practical, realistic strategy.
Honestly, I think there is a way to do that. You simply call Paimon to do the same. Hey, JD donated $20. Thank you, JD. Let
Yeah,
me put JD. Yeah.
but they said underlying spirits without channeling. So I mean, Paimon is kind of
I
like an.
mean, okay. You can use the tarot cards for that. You can use the tarot cards for that. Yeah.
That's
Just
true.
use tarot cards.
That's true. If yeah,
Uh, i I mean, JD, we will include you. We know you have to go, but we will include you. We are not pieces of shit. I mean, we are not perfect people either, but we are not shit. And we will definitely have interview with you, JD, again. By the way, JD, your interview was really, really well received. Lot of fuckers watched the video, almost 1,000 people.
yeah.
So, okay. What do you guys think about Thoth? Honey, did you ever work with Thoth?
No, I never did.
Okay, I did. He is actually a really cool spirit to work with. I like him. He's amazing. Uh, really, really cryptic, and he's really, really good if you want to elevate your soul, elevate your spirit. He's really good for that. Germanic Spaniard says, "How Azazel feels about these elite humans inserting their wills upon the earth. What I think is that Azazel doesn't give a fuck. He has his own agenda and he simply wants to change humanity. What our current elites do doesn't bother him that much.
Yeah.
Well, it is recommended for to only work with Azazel for a year. I know he is a teacher spirit. I don't necessarily. You work with spirits as long as you are comfortable with. There are no rules. You just have to respect everything you sign. That's kind of the basics. Okay. Danny Doom, do you give lessons? If you really want Danny or me for consultations, you can just like contact me or Danny. No
Hmm.
problem. Danny can like talk to you and give you lessons. No,
Hmm.
is it true, Danny?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
work a lot with I don't know what spirits you're seeking out. I work a lot with the Voodoo Pantheon, but I also work with the Greek Pantheon quite a bit. Demonic, fucking all kinds of stuff, man. I mean, I had like 20 spirits come at me in the last couple days.
yeah. So the next question is how close are related Azazel and Shemiyaza? Really, really close. They pretty much work on the same thing. Think about two mechanics who work in the same car repair shop. That level of close connection. Uh, and yeah, they can work together with a practitioner, no problem. Lol understood. Vagrants, the hermit says, vagrants yet traveling, I tend to meet the underbelly of places. There is a spirit in these zones. Yeah, I agree. There is a spirit in those crazy places and crazy zones. I agree. Uh, Inner Light says, I worked with demons and jinn. I have a jinn husband. Yeah, both me and Danny work with the jinn. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and you will email us, uh, and your name is Rashida. Okay, Rashida, cool. Will you film a vocation course for Azazel like you did for others? Yeah, I will film a vocation course for Azazel when the time comes. Okay, let's write down not up for a group ritual. Okay, so we write you down all the guys. Thank you for your generous support. So, okay, because doing this group ritual, okay, unwanted spirits that come after these people coming to me, please raid me, my masters. Thank you, Angramainu, for following the stream religiously. And thank you, Rashida. Thank you, everyone. Um, yeah. So thank you all guys. So because there are new people in the stream, just so you know, if you donate a super chat, we will include you in group ritual with Azazel. Okay, and we'll perform the group ritual at the end of the stream. And what I will also do is I will channel a sigil for everyone to use who participated in group ritual, and I will kind of put it on community posts. I think that's a cool idea. Question for Danny. What's like working with Greek Pantheon and Infernals?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Greek pantheon. I don't know why, but those guys come at me all the time, and um, like it started when I woke up. I woke myself screaming the name Hippolyta because in my dream, my mom's name was Hippolyta. Um, and I was screaming at her because I was really mad, and she was naked and she was only wearing a belt, and I was screaming. Yeah, and I woke myself up screaming Hippolyta. Um, so I didn't know what Hippolyta meant. I was really confused. I googled it, and Hippolyta was the queen of the Amazons. It's interesting because my mom is like 75, I think, but she looks like Pamela Anderson. She's like 6'2". She's like what do you call it, Dimitri? A fucking immortal demigod or whatever. But
yeah, she is her mother is immortal vampire demigod for sure.
yeah.
She
Oh
doesn't age like normal people, and she
no.
doesn't behave like normal people either. And she is a menace, just so you know, guys.
Yeah,
Don't
she
mess, don't mess with my girlfriend's mother. She is a menace of a human being. Anyway,
she she doesn't have the abilities of a normal human, but she does have the abilities of a, a monster, you know. So
yeah, yeah,
um
yeah,
but so since then I've had these very obscure Greek gods I'd never fucking heard of before come to me. I mean, Anthea, um Persephone came to me. That oh god, when Persephone came to me, that was a nightmare. Um, but yeah, all of them, and then even the most recent one was Argos. He came to me just a few days ago, and I didn't know what that was. I had to Google that shit too. But he's like the hundred-eyed god in Greek mythology that protects Hera. So yeah, pretty much the whole pantheon has come at me. I've been to, I guess, what would be like their palace in the the Olympian palaces and everything. uh it's just it's really cool. I don't know why I have such a strong tie with them, but it's just daunting because there's so many of them.
yeah. Yeah, and working with demons and Greek gods at the same time is honestly easy if you work with underworld Greek gods, because darker aspects of underworld Greek gods are pretty demonic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It all kind of depends on what Greek gods are you talking about.
Yeah,
It's a little bit difficult to work with Zeus and demons at the same
yeah,
time,
yeah,
but Demeter and demons and Hecate and demons, no problem,
yeah.
because it's
Also,
all.
if you want someone, so Hecate will open the gates for all of those demonic entities for you, and she'll open that gate wide open. Like I did one ritual with her where I just went to a three-way crossroads, and I offered her some incense and some saffron, and I sung her ancient hymns, and I was taken to, those underworld realms, and I met all the motherfuckers came. All those demonic motherfuckers came. Like I can't. I mean, it's such a long list of them that came. Yeah. So she's kind of like a queen of hell. Hecate is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what offerings Azazel likes? Seed, meat, pussy juice, wine, all kinds of alcohol, and he also likes anything related to goats. Okay, that's a question of Griffith, by the way. Not up says, let me guess, Hecate, Hades, Cerberus, and Chiron. Guys like them. Not up says, yeah, that is true. Guys like them.
Persephone is really dark too.
Yeah, Persephone is really dark as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am kind of really. Hey, Dimitri and Danny. Hey, Etropa.
Hi,
Nice,
Chopa. You.
nice to see you here. I answered to your email. So yeah, you can like answer me back too. But I'm glad to see you in the chat. I'm glad to see you guys all. I love you all, guys. So
Yeah.
technically, uh, I have a difficult task tonight, which is to do a group ritual for 5 people. Okay, so it will take me goddamn time, and I promised you all guys that I will start doing a group ritual on the stream. So yeah, I will start doing a group ritual on the stream, and here is the thing. Because there is already 5 people who paid, I will technically close entries for this group ritual right now because yeah, you can check back for the sigil, definitely. I will publish the sigil on community post after I get it. No worries, guys. All of you guys who paid will get the sigil. And Lona Ottery, oh my fucking god. I need to add you too. So, Lona, we actually have a different offer today. You don't get a personalized message, you get added to a group ritual, and you get this personalized sigil for your work with Azazel. Okay, that's what you will get. Okay, that's cool. So thank you guys all for generous support. Um, I wrote you all down. So this will take me like 20 minutes to complete, if not even more, if I am lucky, because these things vary.
Mhm.
Okay, Danny, I will do the ritual and chant while you entertain the audience. That's the only way for me to do this live.
Okay.
Honestly. Okay. I will like chant and call Azazel while you pretty much talk to people. Okay.
Okay. I'll do my best. Yeah. So I had a really cool experience yesterday with Mammon, who's he was known for money magic, and unfortunately, he told me I couldn't tell anyone, so I'm sad. I didn't think that it would be hard to work with Zeus and say someone like Lucifer or Azazel. Zeus is Oronic, though, while the others are Chthonic. He's still non-Christian, though. I don't really get. Um, yeah. So you can actually you can stack entities. This is something that me and Dimitri have been doing as long as they are kind of in the same sphere of influence. So you could work with, like, say, Surya and like the solar aspect of Lucifer, or Zeus being a sky god. You could work with Zeus and Surya, because Surya also his weapons are like winds and storms. So any kind of celestial entities, whether they're demonic or whether they're of some other pantheon, you can work with all of those, in our opinion. Gray matter, he closed entry to the. I don't know why that didn't work. When he's done channeling, I will. He's trying to really focus right now on the ritual, but when he's done, I will bring this to his attention. Thanks for letting us know. But yeah, you can stack chthonic demons with like chthonic death entities from other pantheons. The only thing that I would caution would be to mix like African traditional spirituality with any of that other stuff. Thank you, Angra Menu. We appreciate that. I'm a little bit energy depleted. So um I appreciate that very much. Otherwise I'd be fanning Dimitri right now and feeding him grapes or whatever. It should be good though. He's really gotten into his thing.
Whew. You guys, I will assassinate you. I will assassinate you all technically. You make me so tired, collectively as a group. So what we got here was pretty much like a set of instructions for all of you guys who paid for this group ritual. Um, so technically, guys, uh, okay. So there is a hymn to Azazel. You should all recite in a sacred space first. And the hymn is Azazel, Aishtani, Azazel Tamana, Heretu Azazel Ita. Then what you do, okay, I will try to reverse my camera so you see the sigil. Okay, so here is the sigil. Let me just hide all messages for a second. Here is the sigil. You can see it on the screen, guys. Is it clear, Danny? Is the sigil clear?
I just see your face. I don't.
Do
Oh,
you
there.
see the sigil? Yeah. Do you
No, you
see the sigil?
pull it back a little bit. I will also I'll re I so
Good,
yeah, I
good,
will like
good.
re
Do you see the sigils? Do you see the sigil, guys, in the chat?
yeah.
Okay. So after you recited the hymn I just read, you draw this sigil on the piece of paper. Then you light 2 red candles around this sigil. And then after you do so, you offer blood upon the sigil I showed to Azazel. After that is done, guys, you essentially praise Azazel with the following chant I got, which is Azazel Teni Vene. So after you offer the blood to this sigil, you just repeat the chant Azazel Teni Vene over and over again as the energy of Azazel builds up, and then you tell Azazel to empower you as you wish. So that's what I got for all of you who donated for today.
Okay,
This was
so
kind of
can you
group ritual did for everyone. So yeah.
can you enunciate the chants so I can type them?
Uh, so first you type. So first you pronounce the hymn Azazel Aishtani, Azazel Tamana, Heretu Azazel Ita.
Hold on. Okay.
And then,
Hold on. Azazel Eshtani.
yeah,
Azazel. You lost your sound.
I didn't lose my sound. Azazel Tamana.
So Azazel Eshtani, Azazel Temana.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the first chant?
Heretu Azazel Ita. No, all of those 3 chants are the hymn. But
Azazel.
technically, I already said this all on the stream. People should be able to re-listen to this stream whenever they wanna.
Okay,
Like,
I'm still gonna type it. because so Azazel, Eshtani, Azazel, Tamanu, Heretu, Azazel.
Yeah, I closed it down because I cannot do it for more than 5 people if it's a bigger ritual. So yeah, I closed the payment down. I cannot do more physically. It's
Dimitri,
not possible.
so Azazel, Eshtani, Azazel, Tamanu,
Here is the thing,
Heretu.
Sunny. My advice is don't bother. If somebody is too lazy to listen back to his own channeling in the stream, I honestly don't give a fuck. You
Well,
don't have to type it.
I can't, dude. I wouldn't be able to follow this or remember this, but okay. I'm just trying to help.
Look, like everything is pretty clearly said. Somebody just has to like go through the stream a little bit and listen for 5 minutes a few times. I think everything is clearly said, but I will repeat it once again. So first, you pronounce the following hymn: Azazel Aishtani, Azazel Tamana, Heretu Azazel Ita. So this hymn over and over again in the sacred space until you feel empowered. Then you draw the sigil I already showed to you guys. So the sigil you have already seen. After you have drawn the sigil, you light 2 red candles. After that is done, you call Azazel with the chant Azazel Tani Vene, right? And you repeat the chant over and over and over and over again. And when the Azazel's powers comes, offer the blood to this specific sigil and tell Azazel to empower you.
What's
And
the second?
essentially,
What's the second chant again? Azazel.
yeah, the chant is Azazel Tani Vene.
Dane.
Vene! Like,
Vene.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, like, fuck this YouTube. Fuck this website. Yeah, anyway. And you call him with this chant and you offer the blood to the sigil. And you tell Azazel to align you with his current and essence. And that's pretty much a ritual I got for all of you guys to do, for all of you guys who kind of donated to this stream. And yeah, thank you all for support. By the way, if you want me to do you like a personalized channeling for your exact uh, problem or whatever, you can contact me privately and the price will be different, but the result will be much more potent and powerful, and I will invest much more energy into it. But thank you guys for the stream anyway, and for all of the generous support you got. Uh, and yeah, if you have any questions here, guys, in the chat, I am willing to answer them. So, any questions for the end, guys? Okay, it seems that there are no more questions on the stream. Uh, uh, Thank you for showing up, Gray Method 24. Anyway, like, thank you all for showing up anyway. And like those group rituals, I cannot do it for more than 5 people, honestly. Uh, because it's difficult to do it for more than 5 people. It doesn't matter how big or small donation you give. It literally doesn't matter. I cannot do this group ritual for more than 5 people because it's kind of not possible for me to do it for more than 5 people if I want to do it authentically. So, what you got was really potent and powerful, and it will always be potent and powerful, guys. But The nature of group rituals is such that you cannot do it for more than 5 people. It's simply the nature of the work. And in my opinion, everyone who claims to be able to do a group ritual for thousands of people, or hundreds of people, or tens of people is questionable. And I don't want to be questionable. Uh, Thank you guys for all of the generous support. And you are making this channel what it is. This channel is for you and about you. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everything you do for me and everything I do for you. And thank you guys. And thank you, Danny, as well. Do you
Uh,
have something to say for the end?
yeah. So I wasn't really sure what Dimitri's plan was for the group ritual. Next time we do it, we can be much more prepared and elaborate for this and really bring the energy down. It's a lot for him to do by himself. I'm sick today, so I wasn't really participating, but I next time we do this, I can really presence the energy and bring it down.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you guys for honest support, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Thank you guys.